Hello gamers! Welcome! Happy Sunday! It's Sunday, which means we are gonna be live streaming! Welcome in! Hello Koi4, salute to the moderator on duty. Hi! Hi guys! So, my lovely PetPyves Premium members have voted on what we're going to be doing for today's live stream. And they have so graciously decided that I'm going to be teaching you things that I probably don't have very much knowledge about. So this will go very, very interestingly, I think. But yeah, welcome. We're gonna be doing a little bit of an art class today. And I'm gonna let you guys in the chat be able to vote on what exactly we're gonna do as far as like the topic goes. Because I know a lot about different types of art and things. So give me one moment. I'm gonna try and set up a lovely little poll for you guys. In the meantime, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have had a good week. Let's see, what art shall I teach? We have like 3 categories, okay? We have like drawing in general. We have character design. And then we also have animation. So those are like the 3 options that I could teach today. I have lessons planned for those things, so I went ahead and started a poll that you guys can vote on to get us started so we can figure out exactly what we're going to be doing today. Yes. Welcome, guys! Alright, so I have a couple of like really cool things to talk about before we start everything as far as the art lessons go. Like, I have the coolest thing ever. You guys, I'm so excited to talk about this. So, I have like so many freaking things to tell you. Oh my god, hold on. Okay, so I have a little bit of a merch announcement. I finally got around to making that merch I was talking about previously. So I'm gonna show you guys really quickly just some previews of some of the merch that I put up on RedBubble. You can check the description. I have everything there. You can go ahead and look with your eyeballs if you so desire. But I'm about to show you on screen right now. So, yes, I have made a little bit of merch here for Persona Project. Some basic stuff here, like, you know, the intro little sequence, Wild Child, which I plan on making one of these for each of the eras, but I'm gonna release merch with every era, I think. I'm gonna try and do like 10 designs for like each era sort of thing. But yeah, you can like, basically, if you've never used RedBubble, you can get this design on like literally anything you want. It's amazing. You can put it on a blanket, you can put it on a water bottle, a mug, a jacket, a backpack, like freaking everything. Stickers, like pins, everything. So that's the cool thing about RedBubble, is like it's a lot more affordable, and you can also just put it on freaking anything you want. So yeah, that's why I go with them as the manufacturer. But yeah, we have this lovely design here, and we also have, this is my personal favorite, I'm literally getting a t-shirt of this, I'm very excited. It's just this wild child that says stay wild, and there's little critters in it, and it makes me very happy. It just reminds me to stay true to myself and stay wild, and I love it, and I think it's a beautiful, wonderful little design. Next up I have a adorable pocket child. You can put the child in your pocket, and if you get certain t-shirts, she'll be in like the corner pocket, like of regular t-shirts, but if you get like the specific graphic tee, it's supposed to look like her overalls, and that you put her in your overall pocket. Isn't that so stinking cute? Oh, this design popped off. I was so excited about this, so that one's available. We have this cute little superpower one that's like, I'm healing my inner child with your superpower. Looks freaking adorable in a tote bag. For whatever reason, I don't know why, that was just the one that popped off to me. But she's wearing, like, her little, like, towel from her OG design. She used to have this little towel cape and, covered in band-aids in her, like, very first design, so... Yes, now we got, like, some cool lore to this one, but also it makes sense, because, like, she's healing! Yay! It's so cute, right? Yeah, I love it. Yes, yes, yes. This is a good one. This is a good one. Okay, the next one is just a generic, you know, mud puddle wild child. Like, no text, no words, in case you just want frog creature. This is the image for that. Looks really good on a button. I'm so sorry for if you're actually reading this. Like, if you look at this slideshow, it is a disaster. Anyways, I also made an adorable pattern that has the evil praying mantis in it. It has lots of bugs, and the pattern took me almost 2 hours to make, and I hated it, and it was a horrible process. But it looks really freaking cute on socks. It looks really freaking cute on journals and stuff. I was like, oh my god, that's adorable. It's adorable. Mildly worth it. This design took me way too long as well. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to me. But this is like the autism, golden infinity sign, but with Wild Child, like, you know, running around and doing her day-to-day things indefinitely, because she's always gonna be a child. She's my inner child, so she's forever a kid, and every part of this design is just so me, down to it being, like, my love of my own and acceptance of my autism, and also just having a inner child forever. It's so adorable, and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. And of course I had to make this one into a design, because everybody was saying that this is the quote, of her whole era, and I believe it has made it apparent, yes, whatever that means. So, yeah, this would also just be really fun to have to, like, explain if you, like, were wearing this. People would be like, what does it mean? You'd be like, whatever that means, and they'll be like, what does it mean? You'll be like, whatever that means! I think it'd be hilarious. And then this is one of the last ones. We have a little one that says, feelin' froggy. And she has to correct you, and she says, but I'm a tadpole. It's not the same thing. She's just gonna let you know. There's also a bonus frog, you know, our little guy that's in the background of the animations and stuff. So yeah, that's my TED Talk, my very brief TED Talk on my merch, my new merch. I also dropped some Brightside merch, designs on the RedBubble as well. I just didn't fit them into the slideshow because we would have been here all day, because there's a lot of characters for Brightside. So yeah, check it out. redbubble/people/petpeeves/shop. And it's also in the description if you don't feel like typing all that out. I don't blame you. It's a long thing. But yeah. Hope you guys are excited about that. I know that was a big want everybody wanted me to do. So yay! Yay for merch. Yay for that. Awesome. Very cool TED Talk indeed. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you. Alright, I've gathered the votes. I'm gonna close that poll, and we're gonna see what we're gonna be doing for our art lessons today. Ah, overwhelming odds. It looks like we're gonna be talking about character design. Character design is the winner by a whopping 50%, which I'm a little bummed about because, God, I am a good animator and I would love to teach you more animation things, but maybe next time, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Alright, so we'll get into some character design stuff today. And I'm very excited to show you guys this. Get ready! Ba-ba-bum! We updated the layout a little bit, and guess what? I have the fan art feature! It's back! Fan art feature is so back! We're so back with fan art, dude! I'm so very excited. If you want to submit fan art, there's now a link in the description of this live stream. It's a Google form, you upload your images, and that's it. It's that easy. Just upload your images, and I will try to update it every live stream, and every month we'll completely clear out the folder so that way new stuff could come in, and we're just gonna keep showcasing all the amazing art that I get, because I really appreciate it, and thank you guys so much for that. The very first one in the background today are the ones that are exclusively uploaded to my website, petpyvesanimation.com. So, these are all ones that were from the website. And I'm very pleased with all of them. They turned out so cute, and there's like, there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of Bright Side, there's a little bit of Origins, there's a little bit of Persona Project, so thank you guys so much for that. I'm gonna catch up on donations. I'm sorry I was going on a tangent in the beginning here. Oh goodness. So yes, I'm gonna catch up on that. Let's see here. We got, well, wow, we have a lot to catch up on. Here we go, here we go. We're just gonna play catch up.
Hey Hawley, congrats on reaching the 150k mark.
Yeah!
Here's some onion rings to celebrate.
Onion rings! Hell yeah, dude! Oh yeah, and Peeps got some oranges. Thank you, dude! Yeah, we freaking actually hit 150k. I was like, wow, that was fast. That happened quickly. So thank you guys, that's super freaking rad. That's a huge accomplishment. My god. Goodness gracious, you're so right for that. Fred Queen!
Why hello Hawley. You caught me in the midst of my drawing flower symbolism. Quite ironic.
LOL! I wonder why you would ever be doing that. I love flower symbolism.
Why hello Hawley.
Oh,
you caught
it's
me in
playing
the
it
midst
again?
of my drawing flower symbolism.
Thank you
Quite
live
ironic.
stream. Thank you for that. Thank you live stream. It's having a mild stroke, I think. It's okay. It's alright.
We all have a little wild child in us.
Yeah!
Especially us ADHD kids.
Yeah! Let's go! Neurodivergence, rise up, rise up. Heck yeah. Thank you, Baylor. Thank you, everybody, for the early donations. And then I also saw in Super Chat, it looks like Vesper XD. You got a little ice cream cone! How freaking cute! Thank you for the little ice cream cone. How fun is that? How fun is that? Oh, there's so much cool fan art. There's freaking animations and everything. I'm so freaking hyped about that, man. Super rad, super rad. Okay, so art lessons, eh? Alright, I have broken down a little bit of my character design process into, like, little bite-sized pieces. So I'm gonna try and put on my teacher voice for today. Oh yes, before I do that, I guess I should be a live streamer or something, or a YouTuber or something. Yeah, as you saw on screen, you could donate, and that's super helpful. It keeps me doing this full-time, because right now we're doing this full-time, and it's gonna be pretty much uploads freaking almost every day because of that. So if you like that sort of thing, feel free. You'll get a nasty little, ugly little text-to-speech voice read out your message, and it makes me laugh. And I love making fun of that nasty little guy. And and I also very much appreciate the support, obviously. So yeah. Just putting that out there. It's in the description. Everything's in the description. If you don't know what's going on, just honestly, the description has goddamn everything. Always. Ever. Alright, so. Oh, let's see. Where do I begin with character design? I just gotta start off with a quick disclaimer. Disclaimer time. I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional in any way. I did not go to art school. I have a degree, but it wasn't for art, okay? I did not go to art school. I have completely taught myself everything I know. So, yeah, there might be better ways to do what I'm doing. Or there might be, you know, other ways to do things in general. Everybody's art process is different. Everybody's art journey is different. Everybody works at a different pace. So what I'm saying here is not something you should base your entire life off of. It's just some general tips and advice and things that I have gathered from almost a decade of what I do, which is everything from art to animation under the sun. So this is just purely my experience. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it as, you know, like, holy word. Like, it is something else, okay? Okay, good. Glad we're on the same page. Alright, yes. So, character design. Character design is kind of like I count this as like a middle lesson when it comes to just drawing. This is like, you should have some fundamental drawing skills before you get into character design. You should at least have something of an art style before you try to really get a consistent character design thing going, honestly, in my opinion. Because without a consistent art style, your character design is going to be really hard to keep consistent because you're not entirely consistent yet. But yes, I highly suggest starting with your fundamentals before getting to this point. We're kind of starting my unofficial art class in the middle of what you're supposed to be, like, chronologically learning. So, yeah, sorry. But yes, we should have probably started with the fundamentals of drawing first, but that's okay, that's okay. We're just gonna talk about design in general. So most people are kind of looking at a blank screen right now. They're looking at this blank canvas. Like, if you're drawing along with me, class, okay, class, get your pencils out, your drawing tablets out, your iPads, your phones, whatever you're using, your piece of paper. If you're staring at a blank screen, it's kind of intimidating. It's hard to look at this and say, how am I gonna fill this full of various fun characters? And for that, I do have advice that was given to me by one of my only college-level art teachers, because I did take a couple of art classes in college, don't get me wrong. But one of my art teachers kept saying something that really just annoyed the crap out of me. Oh, yo!
I'm so excited to see more of Persona Project.
Oh,
3.
Vesper! Yeah, I got some lemons! I picked some like, sour fruits today. I thought that'd be nice. Nice change of pace. Thank you. Yes, get some lemons. Oh, Persona Project, the next episode is coming out tomorrow. It's really sad. It's really sad. I'm about to hit you guys with the sad sandwich, so we're gonna get, like, a depressing as hell episode tomorrow, and then, like, a super happy fun yay episode, and then, like, the most horrifying thing that's ever happened to me. Like, ever. Like, nothing tops it, man. So it's like, we got, like, a not fun sandwich of Persona Project episodes coming out, but then we're done with year 5, and when year 5 is done, we'll be moving on to year 6, so, like, heck yeah, like, we're moving right along with this project. I'm very pleased. But yeah, just as a heads up, I'm glad you're excited for more Persona, but what is to come is very, not fun in the near future. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, life is what it is, I guess. So anyways, guys, I will not be doing the voice if you beg me to do the voice. It's called free will, and the more that you demand things of me, I get demand avoidance. And the more that you tell me to do something, I don't want to do it, because I'm a little bit of a rebel. So, you know, the least I will do is every now and then speak as her, but I don't do any requests at this time. I'm thinking about just doing a whole video of that, so that way people can just get it out of their system, and I could just ruin my voice at another time. But so far, we just started a live stream, and I don't want to wreck my voice that early on. So, because it does wreck my voice. So, character design. Yes. My best advice when it comes to creating a character is to create a story first. Which I know sounds like infinitely more work, but I promise you, you'll have a significantly easier time working on it. Also, goddamn, I love that magical girl witch wild child fan art behind me right now. It's so good, and that animation is really good too. God, anyways. But yes, I suggest making a story. So you're gonna want to do something that my art teacher told me in college a long time ago, which is you draw what you see. And that advice used to piss me off. That advice used to be so annoying. I'm like, no duh, you draw what you see. Like, no duh. Draw what you see. No duh. Like, everything comes from everything. There's always a reference. There's always something you can pull from. But I didn't really understand what my teacher meant until, like, I sat on it for a while, and I was like, oh, I think that she really meant, like, draw what you see. So if you're looking around your desk right now and you see, oh, I have a water bottle, how do you see the water bottle? Right? It's your perception, it's your perspective, and it's very much your ideas. So, even though you might be afraid that you're gonna make a character that looks like something else, or gets compared to something else, comparison is the thief of joy. And you're gonna make your character yours, even if it's similar. You know, if we all, right now, were to draw a character based off of a water bottle, they would probably have some similarities. Obviously, we're all using the same reference. Example, look at furries. They all have a kind of similar basis that they follow. It's like, oh, they are animals. They have these types of features. But they're all different enough that you can tell that they're individuals, right? So there's nothing wrong with things looking like each other. Get that thought out of your head right now. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to anything. So let's do that, okay? I'm gonna make some characters literally based off of this water bottle. So, I'm gonna start with a pen that is colored. Obviously, I'm gonna go with blue, you know. Because I don't suggest drawing things in black and white. Harsh colors, like, literally like that. You will have so much more fun if you put some color into this, even if it's very dark and looks darker. It'll add something to it, I promise. So if I were to make, like, a water bottle character, I could go, you know, very, like, actual water bottle character. Like, okay, here's the bottle, right? And it doesn't have to be anything special. It could literally just be a little guy. Like, hello, I am a water bottle. He's got some broken legs, but just ignore that, alright? Like, yeah, there's a water bottle character. But I could also make some goofy eyes and put the water bottle like this. And instead give him some pants and a t-shirt. Now that's also a water bottle character. What are the difference between these two characters? Not very much. But they're still different enough that you can tell that they're different characters. Right? So, this is what I'm saying. Like, if we all were to draw water bottle characters, they would all turn out similar features. But at the end of the day, it's how you make it that makes it yours. So, I suggest making a story, right? So let's see how these designs change when I give them stories. Because I'll start off with some concepts, but then I'll go, okay, what's the story behind character A and B?
No, Hawley. Stop before it's too later. You're summoning them the object community. Run.
Bread Queen? I wish you were wrong! They're all over my channel, and you guys are fine. You guys can love your object show stuff. That's fine. However, you guys terrify me a little bit, and you guys are kind of everywhere, and I feel greatly outnumbered, and yeah, I don't know what it is, and I'm terrified to get into it because you guys are very not normal, and I mean that in the most gentle, kind way. Please, love what you love. Be excited. Yes, love things. However, we can tone it down just a bit, please. for my sanity, because I swear to God, half the comments I get to this day are about object show, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm sorry, everybody. I feel bad. I don't know what you're talking about. I am summoning them. I'm so sorry. As long as it doesn't clog the chat, okay? We're talking about building characters here. So let's make stories for these characters, right? So character A, apparently has broken legs. I don't know why I drew them like that, but okay, character has broken legs. I'm gonna pick like 3 things. I tried to at least pick 3 things. The face, can change, but it's on like a piece of paper. It can't be ripped off. Kind of like, if you know, Amazing, oh god, I'm bringing up every fandom ever right now. The Amazing Digital Circus, I'm so sorry, god, I'm just bringing in the crowds today. Sorry, moderators, god, but like, you know how Gangle's mask can change? That's what I'm thinking about. This piece of paper could be like ripped and changed to change emotions. Like, it can't naturally change emotions until you, like, change the paper. And then I'm gonna say, hands and feet are Also bottle caps. Okay, this has just like not really story-esque features, but just something about
I just want to tell you that you're doing great and I'm so incredibly proud of you.
Oh!
You've also inspired me in many ways and thank you for what you do.
Oh my god, Rose Hearts, that's so sweet! Thank you so much! Oh, that's so sweet, thank you. Oh my goodness. Aww. I'm feeling so loved. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to inspire everybody as I haphazardly make these water bottle characters. Would you scream if you ripped the paper off? I mean, probably the arts wizard, like, obviously, like, if it's like, I feel like you could change out the faces in a kind, like, manner, but if you rip them off, like, if you're like, stop being mad, you, like, rip them off, then he's gonna be, like, grabbing his face. Like, you wouldn't be able to hear the scream, though. But yeah, what I'm saying about this character is, like, I'm picking things from what I saw in, like, my first initial design and making kind of a story out of it. Like, here's some character traits, right? Because we don't necessarily have to be like, oh, this guy has a 9 to 5. Like, no, like, here's some features about the physical aspects of the character that I could turn into something that could give more characteristics. Okay, so character B. This guy wears clothes. This guy has... We're just gonna say that this guy has, like, the most dad outfit closet ever. Like, this guy just has all dad outfits in the closet. Like, he opens the closet and it's all the exact same outfit, just duplicates. Another notable feature about this character is that I don't know why, but, like, the way the bottle cap looks, it kind of looks like a chef hat. So we're just gonna say, a chef. You're a chef. This guy's a chef. And doesn't have a mouth, so also mute. Boom. So now that I've made this kind of, like, narrative about these characters, I'm gonna redraw them. So, character A, if I were to redraw them, knowing the legs are broken, maybe I'm instead gonna have this character now kind of... Oh boy, here we go.
They are silly greater than 3.
They're silly? Who's silly? Me? My characters? I'm guessing my characters. Thank you, Moonfall. That is cute. Oh god. I love your username too. So, okay, I'm gonna go crutches. And now we're gonna put casts on this character too. We're gonna go crutches. This poor guy. Still happy though, still happy though. Don't know how the legs are broken yet. That's something that he can figure out and talk about and be like, yeah, actually I was saving a kitten from a tree and I fell. Oops. Cause he looks like a very kind, happy kind of soul here.
Please don't rip off my face.
The water bottle. We're not gonna rip up your face, water bottle. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. But what I usually do when I draw these characters is I try to portray this narrative on my little sketch. So like here I'm gonna draw a hand. And it's like, okay, this is a bottle cap. And I'll do a front and a back, right? So here's like the front of the bottle cap. I might have like a logo that says like soda to show that this is a bottle cap hand. And then I'm also gonna draw the different faces. Like here's some examples of he can be angry or sad or horrified. And when I do it, it kind of becomes a fun thing of like, oh, well now I have this whole character, right? So let's move some stuff around so I can fit my other character on the same page. So character B, now that we know that this is like a chef who doesn't speak, I think I'm gonna play into like the very like kind of, we're gonna go bigger shapes here now. We're gonna go big, strong-bellied dad energy. And we're gonna actually put a chef hat on this guy this time. Like I said, this obviously requires a little bit of art fundamentals to start character design. And this time I'm gonna have his eyes, like, kind of closed, so he's, like, confidently grilling things up here. Also gonna give him an apron, I think, instead. And he's gonna have his little, confident little arm here. And a little frying thing. And we're gonna, instead of making the legs as prominent as they are, I'm gonna focus mostly on the belly. So we're gonna make the legs really small. Because we want to emphasize that this guy's a water bottle. Very much full of water in there. So that's like take number 2 of this character. And I always like to do emotions.
These are very silly characters you're making smile.
Thank you, Crinkles. I'm glad you're enjoying the art lesson so far. But I want to talk a little bit now that I'm leaning into this topic. I'm segueing into this topic. Something about character design that is so important, and you will find this in a lot of media, is something called shape language. I'm gonna get into that a little bit.
First time getting to catch one of our streams.
Yo! Welcome, Pocky Star. Glad you could catch it. Thanks for the lemons. Ooh. Ooh, you got 2 of them. Oh, one of them in. One of them into Peeves' little bowl. But welcome in. That's so cool. Thank you, guys. But yes, character design is very much apparent when it comes to, like, shape language. Is really, really important, because you'll find this in the literal Walt Disney archives. Like, Disney has this basis for shape language. And we're gonna talk about that now. I want you to really focus on what I'm drawing on this screen right now. And I really want you to think about these 3 shapes. These 3 shapes are your basis for absolutely everything. This is so important, and there's so much symbolism to these shapes, and you can make that symbolism into anything you believe. So, Disney's best practice is that this is a very, you know, triangles are a very angular shape. They are an angry shape. They are a sharp shape. They are a, like, confident shape. It displays a lot of strength. This is the kind of shapes they expect you to think about in character design. Circles. Think about the movement. They are very smooth. They are very soft. They are maybe bubbly. Literally. Like, happy. Like, think about it. This is a happy face, right? This a happy. Square. You got very rigid. Maybe tough. Maybe a little sad. Maybe a little, like, big. Like, I think that you could make it either a square or a rectangle. Like, they're very, you know, versatile. So these are, like, some key words to think about these shapes. So when you want to make characters, let's start off with the triangle character, right? I'll pull from my own media here. You'll know exactly who I'm drawing. And I'm gonna start with just this triangle. And I'm not even gonna say anything about what I'm drawing. If you know, you know. Scream it out in the chat if you feel the need to. This music is perfect for what I'm doing. Now, if you know this character from 12, it's Thistle. Thistle is covered in triangles. Alright. And then we'll do another character from 12. starting with the circle. Who is it? You guessed it. It's Poppy. See all the circles in this character? Okay. Last one, we're gonna do a square. We're gonna do a square. I'm doing this silently just so you can see what I'm talking about here. Got Ebony. Ebony. Okay. These characters are distinguished by shape. Shape language. And they all tell a story because of these shapes. Poppy, the yellow character, is obviously a very shy, soft, sweet character. How can you tell that from just the design? Look at these smooth, flowing, round, like everything draws you into the face. Very circular. You go all the way around the design. Thistle, you're going, like, constantly, your eyes are going everywhere. You're looking at every jagged point. This is Thistle. Thistle is angry. Thistle is proud. This is Thistle. Very much on the defects here. And then we got Ebony, who is tall and big-hearted character. He's a gentle giant. And then your shapes go 1, 2, 3, 4. And Ebony's also just kind of a rigid character, an unmovable character. So like these, you can see where the shape language is kind of speaking. And this is a good thing to practice when you're just looking at everyday things. So example, let's take our water bottle characters, but let's apply more shape language to them. So let's take character A. So if we were going with character A, a down triangle and an up triangle give very different character vibes. A down triangle kind of gives you a, like, big, strong character, right? Like, but an up triangle might give you more of happy character or feminine character. So it really depends how you use the shapes and what you see in it. So when I see this guy on crutches, I see a triangle right there. Boom. So let's use that triangle. And let's make the character now, knowing that we have this triangle to work with. So let's start with our bottle again. And we're gonna have the crutch. Maybe this time we'll just do 1. Maybe he's strong enough to stand on one foot. Maybe he's got 1 injury going on here. Kind of like this. And he can kind of look back at us. Give us a little wave with that bottle cap hand. So there's a triangle example. Now let's go back and let's do a circle with this character. An oval wouldn't be bad. Ovals and circles give different, you know, context to characters. Look at this character versus this character versus this character. These are all circles. This is the illusion of characters, okay? So if we were to do the same thing, I'm thinking this guy would be really funny if we made him, like, very circular. So let's go, like, all the way circle on this character, right? Let's make him short and stubby. And still got the crutches here. But this time we're gonna round it out. We're gonna round it out. I'm gonna make the... It's gonna be a hilarious design because it's like, why do you have crutches when your feet are literally like barely existent? So now this character is like kind of silly, right? You've got this design that doesn't really make that much sense. But now it's turned into a comical character. So let's go and do a square with this character. There's 2 squares you can do, or 1 big rectangle. So I think we're gonna go... We went tall and we went round. So honestly, I think I'm gonna go long. You're probably like, how do you make a water bottle long? That's interesting. But you just gotta try everything. We're just gonna stretch the design now, like literally stretch it. Now he looks a little bit like a ninja. So we got this little guy with his 1 crutch. You know what? We'll give him 2. I think that'll balance this one out. Broken feet. Little guy. But you can see how different all of these designs are based off of the shape language that I used. And you don't just have to stick to circles, triangles, and squares. Those are just your basic ones. We could go off the deep end. We could go full on, hey, let's do a different one.
Newbie is a circle pretending to be a triangle. He's also square tongue.
You are so absolutely correct. That is the most correct statement I've ever heard. You're so right. You're so right. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's do, like, some unique shapes, like a diamond. Let's do a diamond. So let's take our water bottle and let's make them into this diamond shape. We got the broken legs. But we're gonna kind of form it up to this diamond shape. Or let's do, oh, I love this shape. I don't even know what to call it. I call it a potato. I love doing like a bean. I love doing this kind of shape for characters. I use this one a lot in Persona Project for myself, but it adds so much, like, to the character's story. So, like, now we're a little bit slumped over, maybe struggling a little bit more with this character.
Let's do a complex shape like a dodecahedron.
A dodecahedron? That's a little too complex, I think. So this one's, you know, got a little bit of a hunch, got a little bit of like a pain expression here. But yeah, we can obviously stretch this to be lots of different things. But my best suggestion when designing a character, don't draw it once. Don't draw your character once and say, yep, I'm done. No. Because, like, look at where we've went since the very first drawing I did of this water bottle guy. We drew a rough idea based off of a concept of, hey, I see a water bottle, I'm gonna draw what I see. And then we fleshed out a little bit about the design, giving the design a little bit of story and character, applied some shape language, and now we have all these different versions of the same character. Personally, I think the strongest character out of all of them tends to be this triangle for me. This is because it's so dynamic. Like, look at the pose and be like, wow, like, it really works showing off the leg, showing off the bottle cap hand. I like it, you know, like, I think out of all the designs we did, this is the strongest one. And it also has a story. So when you're designing characters, my fundamental advice for designing characters is to create a story, give them key features and items, and then you're gonna try to work on your shape language, and then you move to color palettes. So, now that I picked a design that I really like, oh yeah, now we're gonna go on into color palettes. So obviously water bottles are typically blue. So we can start off with that, but we'll see if we like it towards the end. So let's draw a more defined version of this triangle version that we like so much. Actually, to save time, I'm just gonna copy and paste this. Because I'm trying to teach a lesson here. Okay, so we're gonna take this lovely design. And this is the stage where I'm like, okay, stop sketching, let's do some line art, which is gonna be a little bit more defined and precise. So, just a little more detail, not too much. I'm a cartoonist, so obviously you put whatever detail you want to put. I don't put that much, because I value my life and my sanity when it comes to animation. I'm basing this character off of I was going to animate this regularly. So water bottles usually have like a little bit of ridges, so we're gonna do this, right? Maybe 3. I try to go for odd numbers. I was told in a painting class that odd numbers are apparently more artistically pleasing. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why odd numbers are apparently more aesthetic, but that's what I've heard from professionals. I don't know how much I believe it, but I do follow it. I just kind of blindly follow it. So for the arms, I think I'm gonna go with this really thick pen. And then we got the bottle caps. Which I'm gonna try and put some more of those wiggles, maybe. Maybe put some edges on this, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Well, see, this is like part of the process, is just being like, I don't know if I like this or not, and that's fine. You're probably not gonna like it right away. Like, you gotta like give it time to grow. So I'm gonna have him, honestly, I'm gonna have him kind of chilling on the crutch. I think that that's kind of a fun pose. Cause like, spoiler alert, you're supposed to be having fun. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Art is meant to be a expression, a release. It's supposed to be fun. Also, I don't know what a crutch looks like, so I'm drawing that completely from memory. But I think it's kind of fun that we have it just kind of balancing there. And then of course we're gonna stick the leg out. It's all facing the not right way because it's broken. I'm just gonna tell you right now, anatomy doesn't matter. At the end of the day, your art style is gonna determine what your anatomy is like, and it does not matter. Nobody's gonna sit there and be like, actually, that's not proportionate, and blah blah blah. Unless you're doing something like realism, then obviously, yeah, you're gonna need those fundamentals. But when it comes to freaking cartoons, like if you're drawing cartoons or drawing for yourself or having fun,
my favorite thing about character design is making stories based on the designs. When I
Yes.
saw the water bottle's second design, my first idea was that the two could first meet at a soup kitchen.
yo, yeah! The arts wizard! You're so right! I love that idea! They totally know each other. Oh my god, no! You're so right, you're so right. I love that. No, I love telling character stories. Like, I make the character before I make the story most times. Alright, so now we're gonna play with colors. Just a general recommendation, I just duplicate my line art and then color the layer under it, like making your own little coloring book, because I don't hate myself. I'll be so honest. People who like color it in underneath the layer meticulously, lovely, you do that. Stay away from me. And I mean that gently, and I mean that as a joke. But you see, you're gonna want to make a color palette and kind of stick to it. So before I get ahead of myself here, I'm gonna make a couple color palettes just without putting it on the character. Like, oh, I like blues, so let's go with like maybe like a. Those are too close. You're gonna want them to vary enough, right? And I try to go with like at least 4 colors, like bare minimum, but you probably want to go more than that. When it comes to animation, it's kind of free game. But I basically am just, okay, this is colors based off of one idea. Like, I want to go for blue. Great. You know what else goes well with blue? Colors that are opposite to blue. So look at your color wheel, and you're gonna go, what's directly diagonal from that? Orange. And red. So, I like picking these kind of colors, too.
And they were roommates.
Great, now we're having shipping battles in the chat, I'm sure, while I'm not looking. I'm trying to teach a class. But yeah, just going off of these colors, here's a very different palette than what I just came up with. And then if I'm still like, I want blue, but I want more than just red and orange. Then we're gonna go all the way, we're gonna make a triangle on your color wheel. So you're gonna go green and orange. You can even go reddish orange if you want to just be all inclusive here. I'm gonna grab some lighter colors too. Of these colors, I think. And these color palettes are like, just to get some ideas down, right? Oops. Oh no, I killed the music. Sorry, go. Okay. There we go. But these are just to get some ideas down. There's not like final words here. But here's some ideas for colors. Okay, let's just say let's go completely off of the chain here. Let's go, oh man, you know this guy? I don't think he looks like a water bottle anymore. I think he looks like a soda bottle. So we're gonna have to go with like a soda-like color. So that's gonna be like a brown. Maybe we're going red. But these colors kind of clash, so we're gonna have to go maybe lighter brown. You don't want your colors to be too close to each other, because you're just gonna give yourself a headache. Even those are a little close for me, but we're just gonna roll with it. Cool. So let's color this guy in using all of these palettes I just made. I'm gonna make a little cheat sheet here. Copy him a bunch of times. So that way we could just color him very simply. Hope you guys are enjoying the lesson so far. I don't have very much to say or add into the chat right now because I'm focused on teaching, but I'll open up for questions once I get this little part done, and we'll do some more exercises with character design momentarily. I'm just gonna put these palettes underneath each one. But you can obviously also, another way to get good color palettes from my own personal experience is to just literally get a photo reference. Like, I take pictures of random crap on the street all the time where I'm like, I love these colors together, and then I'll just use it and I'll just literally pull the colors right from an image. Okay, so let's start off with this one, right? We're gonna go light colors here. I really want this color palette, this color seems to be the brightest, and I want the face to be a focal point. So we're gonna go like, you know, this is gonna be the water bottle colors. The bottle caps are gonna be a little darker, and I'm probably gonna need a little bit more colors now that I'm looking at it. Like, oh, okay, like I need this color for the cast and the iron parts. Cool. And then in this palette, I'm like, ooh, you know, why don't, instead of we draw attention to the face, let's draw attention to the accident. So let's put the bright colors on this part. The parts that we want you to focus on. When you're coloring your character, you really want to focus on the character and what you want to highlight about the character. Because, yeah. Look how different that looks because we highlighted the injury and the hands more so than the actual face. So if this one's a soda, obviously our reference is a soda bottle, so let's color it like a soda bottle would be colored. And the bottle caps are all gonna match. So that's kind of like the more realistic real-life reference, color reference. And then this one's kind of all over the place. So instead of going our traditional, oh, water bottle is blue, what if the water bottle was green for some reason? Not even he knows why. He's just green. He's just green. You don't know why. Oops. Man, I am missing my thing so badly. I got new glasses, so apologies if I if I am miscoloring things here. But here's the same character with all different colors. And you can see how this greatly changes the character. Your colors are also going to be very symbolic. Like, what are the differences between these characters based off of just color? Well, we can tell that this character is more calm. Blues are a very calm color. They're also a little sad. Perhaps this character is wearing a happy face, but they are sad about what happened to them. It's also a very, like, maybe even, like, bored color. Like a dull, like, the unexciting part of life because you have to rest. But then you get this color palette and you're like, oh, this is pain. This is also like a maybe sort of lonely kind of color. Another sad color. But then you get like the soda where it's just like, oh wow, like interesting. Like you get like kind of, I'm trying to think of what vibes I get from this. Honestly, it's kind of weird, but I get nostalgia. I'm reminded of soda from my childhood. Nostalgia. Maybe a bit of like a funny, like a, oh, like it was just a prank. I fell over. So like maybe like a relaxed palette. And then this one just screams like weird and like fun. And like this color palette also just kind of reminds me of like, I don't know why, but like maybe like a toddler's like toy truck. So like toys. So like that's the kind of vibes I'm getting just based off of the color palettes. And then the fun thing that you can do is most programs have this. You can kind of go to a correction and you can change the hue and the saturation and the luminosity. So when you're changing the hue, that's gonna change everything about the colors. This is the complete opposite of the colors that we made. And then these are some slightly variants, you know, colors. This is more green. So you can kind of play around with this color wheel and be like, ooh, I really like this one with the berries and the greens. And this is kind of how I decide on what color palette I really like. Because this third color palette, look at that! With the orange and the yellow and the blue. That looks fantastic, actually. Wow, I really like that. That might just be our semi-final color palette. So what I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna duplicate this. Alright, I'm fixing it. Give me one moment so I could make another little spot to compare this guy with. Layers are so fun. Teaching things live is so fun. Okay. Make way! We're making a fifth one! Da-da-da. Oh, I forgot to squish layers. Hold up. Again, fundamentals are important before you do character design. Can't express this enough. So yeah, playing around with the colors, and I forgot to squish that layer too. My oh my, me oh my, I am a good art teacher, I swear, I know what I'm doing. Whoop. So now we have this one. Which I feel is pretty solid, because it's not your typical colors for a lot of reasons, but you can always take a design and be like, oh, these two blues are too close to each other, now I don't like that. Okay, let's fix that blue then, because it is too similar and I don't like it. So let's change the saturation. If you make it more gray, that's a pretty good color palette. Not all the way gray. But you can also maybe make it white. Not all the way. But oh man, both are good. I kind of like both. But I think the gray was a little bit stronger when it comes to like a character. So we're gonna go right in the middle. We're gonna go like a light gray. And instead of it being like these things now what I see in this character design is like, okay, we have yellows, but we also have grays, which is kind of a conflicting thing. So we have like a whole mix of emotions when you think about it this way. It's like there is maybe like a strength with the blue, a joy with the yellows, but also a bit of a sadness, which is kind of how you look at recovering from a broken bone. And it's like, wow, look at this great character we've come up with. You could still tell it's a water bottle, but we've got like a very unique palette out of it, and I wouldn't have found it if I didn't go and play around with a little editing, a little editing. So these are just things to try. I'm not saying you have to do any of this. I'm just saying this is my general process for making characters. So now I'm gonna walk you through, like, we're gonna make like a legit character. So we covered basically everything that I could think of. Except one thing I do need to talk about. I want to talk about silhouettes and why they're so important to character design. Silhouettes are very important because it makes your character iconic. So if I were to turn this character that we just designed into a silhouette by coloring it all in one color, would you still be able to tell that this is an iconic character? Based off of that alone, can you tell that this is a character on a single crutch? Can you tell that this character is a water bottle? Yes. The answer is yes to all of these questions, because I know how to make an iconic character. This is a very difficult skill to develop when you're first starting to make characters. Don't feel bad if right off the bat you can't tell what your character looks like based off of a silhouette. Like, if I draw this, you know that that's Mickey Mouse, right? If I draw this and put a little top hat on it, oh, we know who that is. That's Bill Cipher, right? So it's like, there are iconic characters, and they have very, very distinct silhouettes. So even, like, example, Wild Child has a very distinct silhouette. If I were to just draw her silhouette exclusively, it would look something cursed, but something like this, to where you could see, wow, that's Wild Child, right? So it's not an easy skill to develop, and it takes a lot of time to think that hard about your character design. I say silhouettes come last, because you can redefine details and everything later. Because, like, oh, what can I do to make this silhouette even stronger? Like, if I wanted this to be even stronger of a silhouette, perhaps in the silhouette, I could include the face.
Bald child of wild. Bring them the shine.
Why is everybody talking about Bald Wild Child? That was last stream. Koipor's like, thank you, Dono. That's funny. So funny. But yes. When it comes to changing this silhouette, it's like, how can I make this stronger? Well, you can't tell the arm is resting on this thing anymore, so maybe we'll move the arm up slightly, like that. Now you can tell the arm is resting. You don't really want your lines to touch all that much either. I forget what they're called. They have an exact line. I think they're called convergent lines or something. Most of the time you're going to want them to be their own separate things, so you can tell that they are separate. Like, separating that a little bit more. But for the most part, this is a strong silhouette. You can tell that it's facing this way. Like, the face is facing this way because of the way this is moving. You got your triangle still. And there's a sense of balance. This character is putting weight on this. And that is, like, just something that comes with time. You gotta practice a lot to get this kind of silhouette thing to work. And, like, it's not really your main goal, but I should, you know, you should expect to kind of think about it a little bit. Tangent lines, thank you. Oh my god, thank you, thank you. I know there's technical terms for this crap, but I don't know what they are because I just draw. But these are my fundamentals. So now we're gonna take everything I just taught you and we're gonna make a complete new character. And I'm gonna do something interesting because a lot of people are interested in this. I had a design for Wild Child that was a little witch. And I think I'm gonna try and design that now. I'm gonna try and make like a beta design of Wild Child. So that way you guys can kind of follow along my process here. So if you just joined, welcome to art class. We are learning the fundamentals of character design based off of my personal experience. And that being said, I'm not a professional, so I don't know what I'm doing. But we're gonna try and learn some things, maybe, perhaps. I'm just sharing some of my wisdom. So, let's design a beta Wild Child. So, this is... Obviously, I already have the story. It's my story. It's my childhood. So I already have, like, a story. I just gotta design the character for it. So this is kind of the opposite of what we were doing earlier, which is to make a story centered around a character. But now I'm making a character centered around a story. So that way we get a little bit of practice in for everything here. So I have this story of Wild Child, and I'm gonna write down just a couple of keywords that remind me of Wild Child. So Wild Child is adventurous. Wild Child is, well, wild. Wild Child is a bit whimsical. Looks at things very whimsical. Looks at things very much in a kind of fun way. Adventurous, wild, whimsical, fun. You know, you're getting a picture in your head already thinking about that. But then I just want there to be an aspect of design that has to do with magic. Because I was really thinking about this design emphasizing childhood magic, childhood wonder. So these are like my ideas. So I'm like, yes, this is what I want. I know with my errors specifically, I was like, oh, I'm gonna base them off of my favorite animals or animals that would make sense or blah blah blah. But like, what prompted I don't know what prompted the bald Wild Child thing. I really don't know. I don't know. We're just, it's something we live with now, I guess. Yeah, as far as the character goes, I'm like, hey, when I think of magic and wonder, I think of witches and wizards and, like, you know, fantasy things. So that's, like, my personal thing that comes to mind. So it's like, okay, this character is kind of wild, adventurous, but is still a child. So when I make child characters, I usually think of circles. Because they usually got, like, a big head and a little body. That's how children work. So, I'm gonna try with circles, and we'll see if any other designs come up. Wild Child in general already has a big circle motif, you can tell. But we're gonna first of all do this on a different layer. Second of all, I'm gonna start with just a couple little circles because I really want to emphasize that this is a child. So, and I also kind of want there to be a pose to this. So sometimes I'll do like a line, action line of like, hey, I want it to be kind of flowing this way. Or sometimes I'll do like a zigzag or a swirl, which I think a swirl would be kind of fun. So let's do that. So let's give a big smile, right? I'm gonna try and keep some features that are similar. But this time we gotta have eyes. I mean, mostly when I draw characters, I start with the eyes, because eye shapes, there's so much to eyes. I could go on and on and on about eyes, but I'll save that for another art lesson. But eyes are the windows of the soul. So we're gonna try that. Sometimes I try to put noses on, see if that works. We'll see. We'll see. It's obviously gonna be super messy in the beginning. You just gotta kind of work with it as we go. I hate noses most of the time. I don't think you've ever seen me draw a nose on anything that wasn't like more of my realistic art style. So I have like a face, hooray, like a childlike face, hooray. That's like super generic for my art style. But now I'm thinking like, okay, hair. What did my hair used to look like as a kid? Well, it was wild and crazy and absolutely everywhere. So it's like, cool. Except I kind of want to make, you know, incorporate my keywords, my magic, my wonder, my fantasy. So what if instead of the hair kind of being everywhere, what if it was a star? Basic shapes. What if the hair was shaped like a star? But we're obviously going to add a little bit more to that star to make it not as defined.
Fun fact, you can name your OCs anything. Call him ladle. Call her asparagus. Call them withering paper. Call it the enlightened savior. You can just do that. You can also make a character off of a badass name to make OCs. That's a favorite method of mine.
Beautiful. No, absolutely. I love that. That's great advice. No, absolutely. Name your characters whatever you want. I love that. I love characters that are named silly things. Thank you, Pink. That is solid. Wonderful advice. But I decided to, because I am basing this off of how I look now, I decided to give like a little curl, because it adds to the fun. That adds to the fun, right? So now I have like, okay, the hair's kind of based like a star, right? So we've got this kind of everywhere kind of hair. We'll add some of the hairs out of place. Cool. The main thing that I'm trying to stick to is my fantasy, so I'm gonna add like a witch hat. I love drawing witch hats. Add things to your characters that you freaking like to draw. Don't spend your life drawing things you don't like. Spend your life drawing everything that you adore. And your life will be good. So there's a little witch hat. I need more room already. Let me shrink it down. For the body, I still think I want to go with them overalls, so I'm gonna just put my overalls on here. But I think instead of the regular pocket, I'm gonna keep to this like star and kind of like cute little witch motif. So I'm gonna put like, we'll try to put a little design on here for now. Maybe I'll make the whole pocket a star. No, it doesn't look like a pocket. Never mind. This is kind of the process. It's like, okay. Just trying to stick to my pattern here. My little swirl. I think that she's just like jumping. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have little arms go out in like a yippee. Most of my design is erasing my design, sadly. This is just my personal painful process. And then I have to decide how short is this character, because sometimes I will put legs and then shoes, or sometimes I'll just put shoes, and that means that they're really short. Which works for a child, but I think I want to put like these big boots, because I love drawing big shoes that are not proportionate to the body. It also adds to the child, you know, childlike whimsy here. I'm gonna make them rain boots. And I'm thinking this girl needs a cape. I'm not gonna lie to you. I miss the design of her having the cape, so I'm gonna add it back. I'm gonna put that cape back on. This little towel cape. And like towels. I don't know why I always draw towels with like these little not bristles, I don't know, but fluffs coming out. But yeah, as you can see, I kind of followed like a line and kind of designed a character around it. So it's like, cool, here's one drawing of this character. Drawing number one. I've got somewhat of a concept. So I'm thinking of like, oh, maybe I'll add some swirls on the cheeks too to add some of that more fun aspect. Because the cheeks have been a thing with this character this whole time. And maybe on the palms of the hands too. And maybe on her knees. Now that's a full character, like, that's like very detailed. Usually the first one is really detailed, then we like tone it back. But that's like my very first like ideas down, where I'm like, okay, I've got pretty much all my ducks in a row with what I want to incorporate with the character. So now I'm gonna brainstorm a little bit more about this character. So instead of doing a more dynamic pose, I'm just gonna have her standing. And we start with circles. Right. And we got that swirl, which is a consistent thing that I have had in most of my designs. So now I'm looking at it like, okay, what would be more fun? A star hat or star hair? Because a star hat would kind of be... Ooh, this would be a difficult angle thing to draw. But it'd kind of look like this, right? And then the hair perhaps is kind of maybe partially out. Which, oh, I'm already liking that infinitely better. That is so cute. It's a little bit more calm, though, which is not true to the character and what I'm going for. It's like, as much as I like it, I'm like, ah, it's not the character, let's go back. So... Why are you guys spamming for fun? Don't do that. That's not good. Okay. Chat going wild. So what if I kept to the lots and lots and lots of hair thing? Cool. Let's keep to that. Love the towel thing. So we're gonna have her just kind of maybe standing here a little curiously. I like to draw them all in different kind of poses, so that way I can get a feel for what the character is like. Big boots. Ugh, my favorite thing to draw in the whole wide world. Big boots. Got the hair everywhere, we got the cape. And it's like, wow, upon the second design, I am really enjoying that star hat. So now I'm gonna draw the star hat by itself, because that looks very hard to draw. So for drawing it on top of a head, it'd be like this. And then if we were drawing it from a top view, it would be like that. So sometimes I'll just take items off of a character and just draw them to understand the key item of the character. Because characters have key items to them. And it's like, when I have a difficulty understanding an item, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to, like, draw the front view of this boot, right? Which can be hard to think about, but it's like, okay, if I'm putting my shoes on, there we go. And like a side view of the boot. And it takes a lot of practice to be able to think about how these things look from multiple angles. That's just practice, in my opinion. Koi's having a beautiful, fun time in the chat tonight. But these are like, okay, here's my second drawing of the same concept. And I'm really liking that. I'm really enjoying the star hat. That's adorable. It makes me even wonder if I could do a star cape. My sticking hard with the stars. So then I'm gonna like, I'll go through drawing this a ton of bajillions of times, but for the sake of time, I will just take this one, and I'll start playing with colors now. So when it comes to my eras, I was basing them off of my room colors, like what they were in each era. So if I was doing that same practice, well, basically, she's just me as a kid. So I'm gonna start off with me as a kid, generic me as a kid. Which is just a freckled child. This is gonna look a little weird at first because it's just gonna be me as a child, and then we'll divulge into further design choices. Because basically, what I'm drawing right now, I have like a big reference. I have a frame of reference, and it's me. But you might not have that strong of a frame of reference when you're designing your own character. But if you have a story, at least you could be like, "Wow, I know this story primarily takes place outside, so that means this character is going to be contrasted a bunch of blues and greens. So perhaps you're going to want to make a character that is more red, pink, and orange to kind of contrast against those colors." But yes, this is like my basic colors for like what I look like. Cool. Now let's ruin that. Let's ruin that. So the room color is like this bright, bright, bright green. So what if my overalls are that color now, right? Wild Child's overalls can be this bright green. And what goes opposite to green is pink. But personally, I like a more reddish pink, like a berry. And this also kind of reminds me of Wild Child's obsession with strawberry shortcake, which is so cute, and I kind of love that. So I'm gonna throw the pink onto this hat too. Pink was also a color that people really, really wanted me to enjoy as somebody who's born female. So we're gonna kind of go like this, which is adorable. And then I really want to incorporate red now, because now you got me thinking about strawberry shortcake, and I really want to draw attention to these big, big, big boots. And I think it's a nice, fun, bright color. And I'm not going to use it anywhere else on the design. Sometimes when you have these really, really bright colors, you're making it a focal point, and if you use it too much, it's not a focal point anymore. And then we're gonna have... gotta color in these little clothespin things. That's sneak a little bit more brown into it. Okay. So there's some idea of like some character colors. But if I pushed the colors a little bit more, I'm gonna make a little comparison here. I'm also just gonna like move everything over here. I'm really trying to save some time here. up. I'm cooking. We're not cooking, but we're cooking. Okay, so what if, you know, I went with the green again from like Wild Child's design, right? I was like, oh, you know what? We need more green because the color's supposed to be green and now it's more pink and red. So I'm gonna go full green. Suddenly the character is very different. One color change sure did change a lot about this character. And now I'm like, oh no. What if I did red cheeks? What if I made the red less abrasive? Like, what if these swirls were just red? What if they're pink? At that point, I'm like, hey, this doesn't need to be on the line art layer. That doesn't look good. Now let's try it. Okay, we're kind of getting somewhere. I definitely think it needs to be red. But this is kind of like the testing out phase of things. Now let's try Wild Child's like original cheeks, right? Oh, that looks great because of all the other polka dots we have, right? So now it's like, oh, that looks good. So let's find a color that works. Preferably a new color. Like that. That's really cute. I like that. Which means we're gonna get rid of the dots on the cheeks. But now we can reuse this red color. Like that. Boom. See what one new color can do to your palette? Freaking beautiful. I could do more swirls, but since there's such a strong circle motif with this character, I decided on spots now. Because if there was more swirls, we've only got, like, if I were to highlight the swirls on this character, we've got 2. But when it comes to circles, we've got, like, every bubble in this hair, the eyes, the face, the round stomach, we got this, we got the hands. We got a lot more circles going on, so I'd rather emphasize those, because now these traits stick out a little bit more. And then, if you want to do the final test of this character, which I'm pretty set on this little witch, this is adorable. The final test for me is the silhouette, which is a very easy test to do, because all you do is this, and then color it in, because it doesn't look good. But looking at the silhouette, it's like, what can I make stronger about this character? Can you tell that she's wearing a hat? Somewhat. I think it could be stronger if we just, you know, figure out where the hat is in the design and be like, okay, it's supposed to be here. Let's make it a little more apparent that the hat is here. Maybe. It's a very, this is like the worst part in my opinion, is trying to do the silhouette. But now you can tell that the hat's kind of on top of the head, right? Like this looks a little bit more defined. And there's also just like a weird number of dots, so it's like, okay, let's make this a little more defined. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. You can't really tell that these are the pants, so let's separate that a little bit more. Like that. It's a very painful process character design. I had such a funny feeling you guys are gonna pick this too. I was like, they are so gonna want me to tell them this, and they're gonna be like, why? But now we've got a little bit more of a defined silhouette. Which, when you look at this silhouette in comparison to the character... Oh, come on. Don't do that to me. There we go. Slightly different. Just a little, but it's enough that you could now go back over the silhouette, redraw what you just drew, and make the adjustments to kind of match it to define the character shape a little bit more. There's one uncolored dot. Sorry, you're just sorry. It's not meant to be exact and professional, guys. But yes, this would be my process, personally, for making a character from scratch like that. But this is kind of like, over my many years, what I've done to really make a solid character. And this is not a very slow or simple process, as you can see. I made it seem very fast, but that's because I do it so much. On a very consistent basis. But here's the full thought process, right? I started off with ideas and keywords, and I stuck to them. I drew up a couple of different designs, really understood the key features and the symbolism, kept to my basic shapes, my shape language, went into some color palettes, and then fixed the silhouette. And that's kind of my process. Yes, strong silhouette characters are my beloveds, for real. But yes, if you want, I'm gonna do like a little speed round. You guys can give me random topics and we'll make characters off of them. Like speed round characters. It just as an exercise, and you're free to follow along if you'd like. So you guys can shout out pretty much anything, and I'll try to make characters based off of them and show you guys how to exemplify everything that we learned here. And do some practice. Because I think that'd be very fun. Can I live in your walls? No. Jules already does that. My neighbor, Core, already does that, so. Ooh, okay, I'm getting a lot of really interesting ones. Nate said a bowling ball, and that's very fun. I'm gonna write them down, so I will just get a bunch of suggestions and then go. Bowling ball. Potato. Cake? Ooh, we're getting a lot of objects. They don't have to be objects. They could be a lot of different things. You can just give me a color. You can just give me, like, basically anything. A crayon. Amazing Digital Circus. Let's see, what else? Oops, I'm closing the program. I'm sorry. Old bat. I also saw Grandma Wolf earlier, and that was cool. Wall insulation frog. That's specific, and I like that. Okay, I think that I'll cap that after I look at a couple more here. Silver. Okay, I like that. Evil corn cob. God, how can I not draw that? Okay, I've got a lot of good ones here, so thank you guys for that, and now I will go and pop off about this. Oh, there's so many good ones, you guys.
Imp simp cough cougha, I mean cultist.
Imp simp? Are you asking me to make a character that's an imp simp or cultist? I don't... We'll see if we have time. We'll see if we have time. Okay, no more suggestions for now, guys. I'll take the cotton candy one because that sounds fun. But we'll work on these real quick. So speed round. Let's make some characters based off of these. So obviously a bowling ball. I'm getting round. I'm getting very round. And I'm thinking of... It's got 3 eyes, right? Because bowling balls have like 3 spots on them. Or he's just a very shocked kind of guy. I'm gonna give very round glasses to the bowling ball too, because I feel like I want to emphasize that these 2 are the eyes and this one's the mouth. But I'm probably gonna leave it hollow so that way you can tell that it's part of the bowling ball. And make them all more similarly sized, probably. And for this one, I'm thinking like it'd be really fun if they were like short and fat. So let's do like some goofy little shoes. With maybe like little tied up shoes. It's giving actually. So I'm gonna literally give him like big glove hands. So he can go actually. And I'm gonna give the limbs are just gonna be like kind of dark. And I think I'm just gonna give him like a little bit of round little hairs. So like that's my take on bowling ball, right? That's like a bowling ball character. Okay, and a potato. Okay. Potato's got like this kind of funky little shape. So I think I'm gonna go with like a very like grumpy kind of mad potato. And I'm gonna have his little arms crossed, I think. I'm gonna go with the same kind of thing. I'm gonna go very cartoony with this one. But this one's gonna be more of like a tall guy. Actually, hear me out. I'm gonna go off the deep end because I just had a really fun idea. This guy is a bubble blowing kind of bad potato. You know what I mean? Because potatoes like can go bad, so this is like a bad potato. And we got like some spots on him that's like a little rotten potato guy. So I'm gonna give him like basketball shorts, like very loose fitting clothes, very much like just chillin' outfit here. We're gonna make it come all the way up like that. So there's like our bubble blowing bad potato. Just giving that vibe. Ooh, a cake. Ooh, this gives me an opportunity to use a triangle. That'd be fun. So let's do... I just realized I'm supposed to be keeping to my color palette. These guys are yellow. They're the circles. Okay. I'm trying to keep to the circle, triangle, square palette thing. Okay. So cake. I'm thinking like kind of like a preppy character. I'm thinking like a maybe kind of like eyes that are like this. Like very bright. Very happy kind of character. And this time I'm gonna go more humanoid. And we're gonna go, I guess, Phineas and Ferb style. For some reason, that's just what's happening here. So we're gonna go maybe like a bunny. And then we're gonna put the cake on top, like, of the head, right? So it's gonna be like, maybe she works at like a cake shop. And this is like her like employee outfit or something. And she's gonna be like very tall. She's gonna be like a tall... We're gonna incorporate another triangle with like a little apron. And she's gonna have like these big bunny feet. And of course a cute little tail that kind of matches this fluff up here. And she's gonna give us a little wave, I think. I think she's gonna be like, hey y'all, welcome to the cake shop. And I think I'm gonna give her a little nose and whisker, but the whiskers are gonna like pop off the face, I think. So that's our cake employee, our little baker bunny. She looks like she belongs in Undertale. You're so right. That's so real. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, the Amazing Digital Circus. Okay, so if I were to make another Digital Circus character, have to think about what most of the characters are already based off of. We have like game pieces and childhood toys, so I'm like, okay, my first thought comes to mind is like a Jack-in-the-Box. So like, if I were to do a Jack-in-the-Box, obviously we're gonna have to go with like a square. But Amazing Digital Circus is also like a psychological horror thing, so I'm thinking more along the lines of like an enemy that they have to face. So like, what if it's like this clown who's got like, you know, clown makeup on, a nose, and they usually have some kind of like features. I'm gonna go with a couple different shapes in this because I want the face to seem friendly, but it's like actually an enemy, so I kind of want it to be like this creepy, crawly kind of character. So I'm gonna draw like the kind version of the character, and then we're gonna draw like the scary version, because I think that'll be fun. So Jack-in-the-Box, they have like this handle, but I think I'm gonna treat it like a tail, and this thing's gonna act very dog-like. It's like, please be my friend energy. Kind of Jack-in-the-Box dog character. But then it could go scary mode, and if it's like extra scary, we're gonna turn that head like completely upside down, and we're gonna have like the, you know, the eyes are gone. They're now, head's completely turned around. You got like scary looking eyes. Now we're gonna play into triangles, because triangles are more scary, so we're gonna like make these into spikes now. And we're gonna jagged edge this kind of thing, and we're gonna get the hands all spiky looking now. And the box is like being dragged behind. And maybe the handle's broken off now. Maybe the handle's gone completely. So like, these are like the two of the same characters, but spun different ways because of their shape language. So that's what I think would be more like a scary version of this character. Like if they were abstracted or something. They would go from being cute dog character to like crawling after you giant Jack-in-the-Box scary character. Crayon, huh? Okay, crayon, I get a very clear image of a square as well. I think I'm gonna make a very sad crayon. I'm feeling a sad character coming up here. So I'm gonna have like, this is the crayon's head. And usually they have like a little circle thing. So we're gonna go with like a sad crayon. Maybe even shy crayon. So we're gonna have like his little shirt sleeve. He's gonna grab his arm. Kind of shy. Hugging themselves. Showing emotion in characters, even though you're just drawing them for the first time, will really give you an idea of what you might be not even know what you're looking for. I'm gonna keep to squares for that character. Yeah, sad crayon. An old bat. I'm getting triangles for this guy. I'm getting like an angry, like, let's do like a this shape, right? Let's do a this and this shape. So let's get like little old geezer eyes. And bats kind of have like interesting little snoots, so I think I'm gonna give him like a little triangle snoot. And maybe like some little fangs. And we're gonna give big ears. And since he's old, I think I'm gonna do like hair like that. And I'm gonna give him, I think I'm gonna give him a little walker. Little walker for the little bat. Ones that kind of like turns into seats anyways. That's the ones that I think of when I think of a walker. Also, that is super unbalanced. That guy's gonna fall. Jesus. Okay, there we go. Make him really short and have little triangle feet. And then like maybe tiny little wings. Like disproportionate, doesn't have to be perfect kind of little wings here. Maybe like a tiny tail. So that's like my grandpa bat. Bremen vibes, right? Yeah. He just wants to be left alone in his dark cave. Leave me alone. Which is fun. Alright, Grandma Wolf. Man, maybe he knows Grandma Wolf. So let's do more of like a soft, sweet wolf character. So like, we've got like almost Golden Retriever, Animal Crossing, villager vibes coming from this grandma. Maybe she's got like a long face. And like droopy little ears, soft ears. Maybe she's wearing a bonnet of some sort. Lots of wolf characters tend to wear bonnets for some reason when it comes to them being big bad wolf grandma-esque characters. But she is sweet. So let's do a little bonnet. In our circle, I think will be more elongated. And we gotta add some like weight to the character, so sometimes I'll have the feet going opposite directions to kind of show that she's a little hunched over. I'm gonna give her a little plate of cookies. And I'm gonna fix her little dress. And perhaps give her a little tail. Except I'm gonna make it fluffier on the bottom, kind of drooping like the rest of her old fur. And that would be my take on Grandma Wolf here. As you can see, when I'm talking about designing characters, I'm constantly pulling from things that I already know. Wall insulation frog. I don't even know what wall insulation looks like, so we're gonna be rolling with that. But it's mostly a game of references, and it's a game of like picking like what you like about certain things and turning it into something new, personally. So, oh, glasses, you're right, duh, Grandma Wolf should have glasses, you're right, boom. Good idea, except I think I won't make them that big, I think I'll make them really small. Like sit right there, like they barely go over her eyes. Beautiful. Wall insulation frog. All I can think about for wall insulation that's like really itchy. So I kind of want to make this like extremely miserable frog character. So I'm gonna start with these eyes that are just like I'm so itchy. Ugh, help me. Kind of like I hate everything kind of vibe. Color in these eyes. So I'm gonna make him like this very like kind of droopy kind of character. I think I'm just gonna straight up have him like just solemnly like maybe even laying flat on the floor, defeated from being so itchy. So Perhaps he's made of insulation, which is like kind of fluffy and kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. If you don't know what wall insulation is like, it's like scratchy. So like I'll do like these like scratchy kind of feelings and maybe do like a little pew pew like little dust coming off a very miserable itchy boy. Very itchy little frog. And then I got Evil Corn, which is awesome, and I'm gonna make him into a supervillain, so I think I'm gonna go triangles. Let's go triangle with him. Let's go, like, super buff, like, awesome, like, I'm a supervillain. So this'll be, like... We're gonna go... That will be, like, the superhero logo. Ba-bum. And then we're gonna have the head be a square, because it's a confident character. But we're also gonna have like the superhero mask, which will go like one eye this way and one eye this way. And I think for the corn on top, we're gonna go like with some leaves. And then we're gonna have the like little ninja mask kind of flowing in the wind, I think. And then we're gonna go with the feet. We're gonna want to go like super strong, so we're gonna go outwards like this, but really thin, strong, kind of silhouetted character. Maybe a cape? You know, flowing in the wind as well. Da 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 da! Evil Corn. I could have played more into the evilness. I was trying to kind of make the leaves look like devil horns. But honestly, I think that this is like a villain who like doesn't necessarily have that much villain tendencies. Like, will do bad things, but then we'll come back and be like, oh, never mind, sorry. His mortal enemy. Hello, cat. Please don't do that. Thank you. My cat is here. I think his mortal enemy is anybody who has anything to do with fire, because I can turn him into popcorn. So, that's my take on that character. As you can see, I'm making up a story for everybody. Okay, silver. Silver is such a vague word that I have so much freedom. It's like, I have to think about what exactly I want to do for silver. So it's like, maybe I can do like a moon-like character, or a character that's based off of the moon. So like, let's do like a cat, right? Let's do like a, maybe like a lost cat. Let's do like a lost cat, right? Maybe we can play with the little, we can have like one little hair that's kind of like the crescent moon. And I've just decided that I want to make them a Sphinx cat, because I think that'd be really fun. So they have one hair, but they're a Sphinx cat. Maybe kind of like that. We're gonna go like with this crescent kind of like moon shape is what I'm thinking about when I think about silver. So we're gonna try and make the crescent with the character. It's like obviously very long, kind of lanky, skinny little character. And we're also gonna make a moon with a tail. And maybe we'll add a little collar because, you know, he's lost. He's just trying to get back home. And then I'd probably incorporate some kind of like patterning that indicates like maybe like a night sky and a forest below with like the patterns on the cat. If I was going like full on fantasy warrior cat here. But that would be my silver take, I guess, which is supposed to be yellow because I got circles going on. Let's fix that. Whoop. And then for the last one we had cotton candy, which I am feeling I should do circles, but I kind of want to challenge myself by doing like a different shape. So I think I'm going to do more triangle. I'm going to do another triangle. So let's do like a very busy-bodied kind of cotton candy mom, right? Who's like maybe got like a lot going on here. So like she's got like this big like haha, I'm doing great. But we're gonna have her holding like other little cotton candies in her arms. And they're gonna be like, ah, crying. Ah. And I'm gonna put some of her cotton candies like kind of like frayed out of place, I think. I'm gonna give her little high heels. I think that'd be funny. And then this is like her little outfit. I'm gonna give her like kind of like an apron sort of thing, I guess. She was trying to clean up, it didn't happen. So that's my stressed cotton candy mom. So these are some examples of characters based off of just anything. It does take, you know, your own perspective and your own creativity to come up with it, but we made a whole bunch of just very original characters in that one sitting. Hello, cat. No, you cannot get tangled in the headphones. Greetings from Indiana Jones. Say hello to the cat. But yeah, I hope that this was somewhat helpful when it comes to like helping you design your own characters. Yeah, my improvement definitely has grown a lot, Blue Streak. You're super right about that. I still have a long ways to go, but over the, you know, almost decade I've been doing art, this is everything that I've learned. I mean, like, God, I'm like staring at this little Wild Child character being like, oh my god, this is so cute. I mean, I love the frog that we ended up with, but I love her, and I wish she was real. But we sure did go over quite a bit, so let me recap. So, when it comes to character design, from my personal experience, it is best to kind of make a story, and to use a reference, and to...
Can I draw a bald wild child as Agent 47?
I don't know who Agent 47 is. But sure, you're free to draw a bald wild child as you please. Don't care. That is fine. Wild child, free to draw. Just, and you know, as long as it's appropriate, and bald is fine, I guess. Jules, whatever that means. Oh, that's so good. No, I love using references. Use real life references. Use the objects around you. Use the world around you. Google a bunch of different birds and look at them and study them and really understand that art is all around you. Art is everywhere. The cat just ran. Oh my goodness. But you can turn basically anything into a character because it's based off of your perception, your experience. And so, my best advice is look for symbolism and personality around you and what you want. You can draw a character from a story you've already made, or you could make a character then make a story around it. And then you're going to want to really focus on the character, the setting, the story, everything about it that's going to help you define features about it, and make key features and key items that define your character. And then you're going to want to go into your shape language and kind of apply what we know about shapes and what they could mean. And then after you do all of that, you're going to test your color palettes and you're going to try and do a little bit of color theory, which could be a whole nother ramble that I probably won't get into today. But you can do a whole lot of different things with color. My best advice is to keep your strongest colors or most unique colors that you use rarely in the palette to where you want your focal point to be. And then you work on making a very strong silhouette. And we did that with a couple of different characters, different processes, ended up with pretty good results here, and I hope you enjoyed doing a little bit of practice and learning a few things about making your characters more unique and making your characters speak through their design. Like, I'm sure you all have seen a lot of my design videos when it comes to origins, and now I have a persona video about it. But you can see, like, essentially, without me saying much, if I just showed you the images of characters, you could be like, wow, I could guess this and this and this and this about this character. This character looks like this type of character. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I'll pull up some of my other characters, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by why all of these things matter so much. Here's one of my characters named Marlowe. Now you can look at this character, and without even reading anything that's on this sheet, if you just look at him, you can notice very round character. Very round character. I've even updated this character since this image to have a lot more roundness to it. And you see blue and purple. You also see like an expression that's shy. You see a scarf. And so it's like you've got all these little tiny features that are kind of giving you vibes of like, oh, this is a shy, sweet, fluffy character. This is that type of character. But then if I show you a character from the same show who's got a little bit more triangles and red and kind of bold colors. You got like darks and lights against like a very bold color palette here. You can tell that she's an adventurer. She's a feisty one. She's, you know, she's got a lot to her sassiness, and even though she's got like some soft edges to her, it just makes her sharpness stick out more. And then if I went to like a completely like off the wall random other show, like Brightside, I could pull up some Brightside designs. Let's find where I put all the references. I have so many Brightside characters, it'd be so hard just to pick one. But you can tell from like Luffy's design, I did a whole animation meme about her. Another very rounded, soft character, but also spiky at the same time. These things can be combined. You can use both. She does have a little bit of a sass to her at times, but but she's also just a very sweet, bubbly kind of character. I kind of incorporate all the shapes when it comes to her. And you can do that. There's no rules against art. Like, you can do whatever you want. Another character we have is Mushio. You got, like, very spiky, very sharp character. And lots of triangles, because he's very tall, very confident. He's a gentle giant, but he can be threatening. And even when I go into Persona Project and pull out some characters, you'll see, like, these various things come to the light here. trying to find one of the pictures that shows their full body. Do I have a full body of this? I do. Boom. Like Robin, you've got lots of triangles, but also lots of squares. And you can see like how much the shape language is like speaking to this character, because there's like the squares are your foundation and the triangles come off the squares. Gio gave me $1 once. What does that even mean? But these are just some examples of my characters and how I designed them and why I designed them the way that I did. And I hope this was insightful for you. So class, if you have any more last minute questions, I'll be answering those while I catch up on my water. Sure was talking for a while. Robin looks so stressed. It's so real. We are so stressed. We're so stressed. Working for yourself is terrifying. Can Robin pick up things? Robin can pick up things with the wings. They got like opposable thumbs. They can like pick up things. They have like 3 fingers essentially. They're not like totally worthless. Can you please do more of these? Oh, absolutely. I have a whole list of art lessons I want to do. I'll just, every time you guys vote to want to do these lessons, I will have you guys vote on what lesson you want to learn specifically. Oh, Nate, you made some designs too. Let's go. Let's go. Do you have any more art advice you could give? Of course, I have so much art advice. I could be here all day, but I will limit myself to what I just talked about, strictly character design. My other piece of advice when it comes to character design is just, again, I want to reiterate. Don't be scared if your stuff looks like somebody else's. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't be like, oh, but that looks like this. Like, yes, you could look at my stream, and you could look at this bunny character and be like, that looks like Lola Bunny from Looney Tunes. Or you could look at my sad crayon and be like, that's just Object Show. Like, people are always going to try to compare what already exists to what already exists, because, spoiler alert, it already exists! So, honestly, getting a comparison is a compliment, but I know sometimes it can feel like your character feels unoriginal. But it is original, and it's yours, and it's how you perceive it as you made it, so it is yours. I mean, obviously this doesn't count if you just blatantly go and steal characters, like, verbatim, but, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But just, if your character happens to look like another, just know that it's fine. I know I see a lot of comments of people being like, oh, I want to make a Persona Project OC, but I don't want them to look too much like Wild Child. And I'm like, well, if you're also a frog character, you just have frog features, you're gonna look like Wild Child, but you're not gonna be Wild Child. So that's fine. Do you like Persona Project or Brightside? I like both, but I prefer Brightside more because it's a lot more fun and silly, and it's got a mix of serious and silly that I love to death. And Persona is just so deeply personal that it's a little painful to work on sometimes, but Brightside's never painful to work on. Will we see Wild Child once her story is ended? Yes, Mo, absolutely you will. She will be there continuously. Like, as eras are introduced, they will continue to stay, and they'll continue to jut in. By the time we get to Haley's era, there's gonna be like 5 people all the time being like, oh, actually, I think this, and Haley's gonna be like, can you guys stop? I'm trying to tell my story. So they're not going away. Like, it's not like they're just gone forever after the era ends, don't worry. Because they're all still here with me, like, they're all here. Will you use the eras in anything else when the Persona project is over? Probably not. It's a deeply personal project, and I kind of want it to just stay where it's at, and I don't think I will use them in anything else. I don't know what I would use them in, honestly. How long is it going to be till year 9 comes? I'm thinking that by January 2025, we'll be done with Wild Child. At the very end of January, if I can stick to my upload schedule that I have planned out very meticulously, then year 9 will start in February, and we'll be starting Blackbird's era in February. I'm assuming by the end of, like, summer of next year, we might be getting close to finishing Persona Project entirely, but it really depends on how well I can continue to work on it, because this episode I'm about to upload tomorrow, took me 9 days to make, because it was absolutely devastating to work on. Like, I am sobbing in the recording. I sobbed writing it, I sobbed while I was recording it, and I sobbed animating it. Like, it was just a very emotionally taxing project. So, like, while I want to say I could upload every day and I could do this super quickly, enough at the same time, I have to give myself grace, because this is my life unfolding before everyone's eyes, and it is a lot. It takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of healing that I don't want to rush, so... Oh, Blue Streak, I do kind of have an upload schedule. I wouldn't say it's, like, official or anything, but I try to upload around noon my time, which is in, CST. So it's usually around noon I will try to post it, because that's just when generally it's easier for people to get access to it. But it's basically as soon as videos are done, they come out. I try to get them out as often as possible, so I can kind of make episodes every day, depending on what the content is that I'm making. It has to be, you know, digestible for me, because this is my deeply personal project that I'm working on as my main project. That's why you'll still see videos like where I design things, or I work on Persona, like random other project things like, oh, Blackbird's era, or oh, I'm gonna work on Brightside now. I'm gonna actually, oh, I'm so excited, this next week I'm gonna set you guys up with a really fun new series that I'm gonna start working on. I really enjoy Animal Crossing, and I've had the same island since it came out in 2020, and I'm so giddy about this. I am working on... Basically, I have the expansion to Animal Crossing, and I design a lot of really awesome houses and stuff. And I can't wait, because I'm gonna basically make a series where I'm pairing up Animal Crossing characters, like my little OTPs in Animal Crossing, if you will. And I'm basically gonna have like a little series where I show off the builds that I've done, and then I'm gonna draw the ship together, like the two characters together, and I'm gonna basically make it like a drawing and gaming combination series. And I'm really excited about it, so I'm gonna start that up very soon. I think you guys will really, really like it. I hope so anyways. It's very fun for me. I'm also working on building like a hyper-realistic Sims universe where I can have all of the Brightside like characters in a Sims world. Why is the music just... Stop it, don't do that. Okay, Jesus. But I'm basically building a giant Sims world where I'm trying to make all of the Brightside characters to where we could just go and watch them interact and stuff, and that'll be really fun. I'm also planning to do that for 12 and Origins. Like, I want to make the human versions of characters, and I've been recording that slowly. So that'll be really fun. I'm very excited because I'm super good at building in The Sims. Like, I'm a huge builder when it comes to Sims. I also want to just pick up my Minecraft series again. I started it off, and then Minecraft got all updated again, and then I was like, I can't keep up. So I'd like to pick up my Minecraft series. So basically what you're hearing is I want to do a little bit more gaming stuff. So maybe when I'm taking breaks from Persona, you'll see more gaming stuff. Who's my favorite era? Ask Dragons for fun. I love Wild Child, obviously. It's gonna be so sad when I have to move on because this is my favorite era and I started off with a bang and I'm like, dang it! But I do really love it. And I guess my second favorite era would have to be... Dang, that's tough. Maybe Parker. Parker was a good one, man. Parker was a good one. How long is the stream? We're about to wrap up. We're wrapping up in the next couple minutes or so. I'm just speed rounding some questions here. Sim streams, yes, I'm hoping to do those. My Sims Kingdom, Maddie, is literally one of my hyperfixations. I love my Sims Kingdom. I'm normal about my Sims Kingdom. I'm normal. Oh my god, I was so fixated on that in Blackbird's era, and I love it. I love Tobor. Tobor's my freaking beloved. And Buddy Buddy and Lindsay. Holy crap. Buddy is my gender and Lindsay is like my orientation. I swear to God, those characters influenced my entire life. I love them so much. But anyways, I'll stop fucking screaming. Do you like matcha? I don't think I've ever had it, and I don't know if I'd ever like it. If it's tea adjacent, no thank you. I don't like tea. No imp cultist. Sorry, I don't want to like draw it and then somebody actually like make it their icon or something. That would freak me out. I wouldn't want people to be like, yeah, that's me. I'd be like, no, 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 there's no cult here. Please don't. Is it okay if we use the idea of different looking people for different parts of my life? Absolutely. That's not my idea. That's just go for it. That's been around forever. But like, if you call it Persona Project, obviously credit me. I made the first Persona project in this type of style and format. I'm not saying I own the idea itself. I own the format, essentially, I guess, of like, hey, here's me and I'm telling my story through all these characters and I'm specifically calling it a Persona project. So if you want to use the exact wording in the exact format, then please credit me. But otherwise, do what you want. Please heal yourself. It's a very, very cathartic thing. Also, yes, I see your comments. I am actively live reading comments. That's what we do on live streams. Yes, I do that. I read comments. I do my best to read as many as I can, but there's 80 of you and 1 of me right now, so I do my dang best. But yes, please don't put me on a pedestal. I'm just literally a guy. I'm just a guy that draws stuff and posts it for people to see with their eyeballs. Do I have a favorite Origins design or Brightside? Oh, that's so tough. Picking one? Man. I really like the redesign for Rose. Really sticks with me. Like, she's so freaking cute, dude. I'm so mad I don't get to use it. It's like the biggest crime ever committed. And then Brightside, one of my favorite Brightside designs. Oh god, that's tough. You guys haven't seen it yet! I can't even talk about half of the designs that are in Brightside! There's a character that I really love, that you guys haven't seen, but have been mentioned. His name's Hellstorm, and I really love his color palette. It's like electric green, black, and white, and it's just like, dude, I love him. He's so freaking cool. And I also just really love the final boss. I love Feos's design, but yeah, you guys haven't seen it yet. It's just like a really unique, I feel like it was just like a breakthrough for me when it comes to designing, because I just made something entirely like completely original. It's so cool. Did WC ever cut her own hair? No, but someone in class tried to cut my hair once, and then I got them in trouble. If you haven't watched Brightside yet, highly recommend it. It is, adult content though, be warned. We do curse a lot. We do cover a lot of heavy topics. Please pay attention to the content warnings. My cat is climbing. What are you doing, child? What are you doing? He's like, you talk to these people long enough. You need to pay attention to me now. Ever since I started working from home, it's like all I do is have to take care of him because he's just so needy. Yes, play with your toys. They're right here, look. Get your toys. Okay. Cat toy ASMR. Kifa Supremacy, let's go! Oh goodness. How many seasons will there be of Brightside? I don't know how to answer this! There's like at least 4, okay? At least 4. It's because we don't know how to break up certain things, like, it's hard to figure out where certain arcs begin and where they end sometimes, so like, I'm saying 4, but it might be more like 5 or 6, let's be real. We're actually thinking about recording a little bit of epilogue stuff now, that it's been like 2 years since we've recorded Brightside, so we're thinking about revisiting it and Not doing the stupid dumb trope of like, oh, they're now like adults and they have real jobs and children and stuff. Like we're like about that trope. So we're just gonna go like one summer past the events of Brightside and be like, it's only been a couple months, what have you guys been up to? So there's like hundreds of episodes, don't worry about it. We'll get there. I'm hoping by the end of this year we get to like the climax of Root, which will be really fun because it's gonna be so wild, and that's just, it does not stop from there, and I'm very excited to get to that point. Episode 55, we're hoping to get there by the end of the year. The cat at the bottom, his name is Peeves. He's actually the mascot of this whole channel. I almost called it a server. What am I saying? A channel, and Peeves is one of my first OCs. He's my pet peeve. He's just a little guy. He's like a cat, kangaroo, mouse thing that I call a species called devil mice. He's a devil mouse. Because if he folds his little ears back, he's got horns. He's just hiding them. Oh yes, Brightside. Brightside's a fun one to watch because it's visually entertaining because of all like the little icons moving and stuff. But it's also like you could just leave it to listen to, and you could just listen to it. Where's a good episode to start, Brightside? I'd say episode 2. Episode 1 is character creation, where we're just talking about like how we made our characters and like how we're gonna play them and setting up game mechanic stuff. So starting from episode 2, it's like the first day of school. So they all basically start at a villain reformation school, and it's about these kids with superpowers. And it's basically all of the voice actors of 12 and Origins, but playing as edgy teenagers, so you know it's good. You know it's good. Have you ever thought of redesigning Peeves? No! I can't do it! Wild Child designed Peeves. I can't do that to her. He's gonna stay basically the same forever. I can't change him now. Oh, please, just don't ask to ask a question. It's like my #1 pet peeve, and I don't mean that in a cute way, and like, haha, pet peeves, haha. I mean like in a please, this genuinely irks me. Just ask, we're here, just please, just ask your question, don't ask to ask a question. It's like the most confusing conundrum. My autism can't handle it, please. Just tell me directly what you want, and I will answer. Oh, I can't wait for year 5. Year 5 is gonna end, and you guys are gonna be, like, mortified. I'm so sorry. So, like, yeah, huge warning about the next few episodes of Persona. They will rip your soul out. Be wary. Please pay attention to the warnings. Please. I can't beg you enough. Pay attention. Don't be scrolling mindlessly and get traumatized along with me, please. Thank you. It's like my worst fear. I don't want to make anybody feel worse or bad just by having to tell my story. How many friends does Peeves have? That's a fun question. Peeves has a lot of friends. Peeves' best friend is a little kind of squirrel guy named Roshi. And then I showed Marlo and Damari on screen earlier. And also has an NB friend named Tad. And a flying little serpent character named Pip is also Peeves' friend. Peeves has a lot of friends, honestly. My favorite Kirby game? Oh, Return to Dreamland or Epic Yarn. I can't decide. I love them both so dearly. Epic Yarn and Return to Dreamland are so freaking good. And I don't mean the new stupid Switch version of Return to Dreamland. I mean the OG, like the real one. My favorite game in general? Good lord, that's a hard... Anything Nintendo, man. I love Nintendo games. I freaking love, like, Mario Sunshine has a special place in my heart, and Mario Galaxy. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Just any Pokemon game, honestly, for real. But Soul Silver was my absolute favorite. I love The Sims. I love Minecraft. I love Stardew Valley. Like, Neopets, Animal Jam, Webkins. If I'm going, like, completely off the, like, my whole life's worth of video games here. I like a lot of video games. They are my beloveds, for real, for real. Animal Crossing. How did I forget Animal Crossing? Huge part of my life too. What? Why must Peeves be contained? Cause he's a little goblin. He's also patiently just waiting for fruit to fall, so that's like why he's there. He's a hungry boy. Did you ever realize your earlier Persona project was more serious? I've always known the Persona project was very serious. Like, it was gonna be a very not so fun thing to talk about because I've gone through a lot of hard stuff. But I'm trying to make it as uplifting as possible. After Persona was my main project. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna finish Origins. If you don't know what that is, it's basically an edgy cat cartoon that I made like 8 years ago. And I'm basically giving it a fresh coat of paint. So I'm gonna give Origins a little TLC. I'm gonna finish it off completely. And then I'm gonna move forward and we're gonna work on Wander. Wander is gonna be a lovely fantasy, adorably animated adventure about LGBT characters and their struggles. And it's basically gonna be a really fun, wholesome adventure. It's gonna be animated in the exact same art style as Persona, so this is kind of my test run for Wander, so I'm very hyped about that. Awesome Wolf, don't even get me started on ships. I will be here all goddamn day. I have so many Brightside ships that nobody cares about. I think my favorite, like, ship right now is Connor and Lucid, because that's just being built up, like, so crazy. But I also love Kifa and Frey, and, like, I love it so much because it was in Mushio's original timeline, and everybody's like, ew, that's so gross! And I'm like, leave me alone, I love my weird ships, like, that just let me be in my corner with my little GM goblin noises, and be like, my ships. But I guess if, like, we're talking about canon ships, I mean, Sylvie and Raven and Caspian and Toby have my heart for real, for real. They're so cute. I love them together, man. What's Persona's personality is my favorite? That's tough. I think I don't like Hawley's personality, but I think it's gonna be the most fun to voice act, because she's like a very bubbly, uppity, like, everything's fine kind of character, so I can't wait to voice act that one. I think the personality is just gonna be really fun to act out and be like, but it's okay, this thing happened, you know, and it's just, I was fine, I was totally fine, nothing bad ever happened to me in my life, I was just a bad kid. And it's like, girl, no, you're so wrong, you are literally so wrong. But I think it's gonna be really fun to voice act. Wander hype. I can't wait for the Wander hype. Ah! I have so much good Wander content. Ugh. Oh, I saw Heartstopper. I know what Heartstopper is, yes. I've watched the Netflix show and read all of the comics on Webtoon. I'm not caught up right now though. I don't know if it's updated for a while, but oh, goodness. There's gonna be such a fun cast from Wander, guys. I'm so excited. Because I'm gonna keep it cast accurate so we can have people's voices be actually genuinely heard, and I want their input on the story as well. Because while I am queer myself and I've gone through quite a bit of experiences myself, I want to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. So I'm gonna be getting people who are actually trans and actually, you know, bi or a lesbian or etc, and get all these people and be like, okay, let's go. Because I'm genderqueer, I'm aro-ace, I've had many phases in my life where I've gone by many labels, so I feel like I understand the experience enough, but I want to make sure I get multiple experiences incorporated, so that way it's, you know, an accurate story. Because the story is primarily about the LGBT struggles, and I want to make sure that it's accurate. Oh god. I don't feel like answering that question, Jackie. I don't really want to talk about any crushes and stuff, because like I said, I am asexual, I'm aromantic, and anytime I think about quote-unquote crushes I've had, they're not really crushes, they're just things that other people forced on me to kind of force a normative on me that I didn't fit into, and I very uncomfortably tried to fit into, so it's a very awkward thing for me to talk about, and I don't really want to answer that. My favorite Heartstopper character. That's... I love the two lesbian girlies. I don't remember their names right now. It's been a while since I've interacted with Heartstopper, but I love them so much. They're so fun. I actually don't really enjoy most of the characters, just personally. They're just a little flat for me, but those two seem to stand out a little bit more, and I like that for them. Forced crushes are such a queer experience. Oh god, no, tell me about it. I'm gonna have so much to say about it in Blackbird's era. Blackbird is not gonna take anybody's shit, dude. She's such an angry character, man. I can't wait. You guys are gonna get such a kick out of her. Alright, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. We had quite a successful art class today. And I think that you guys will learn a lot in the future art topics that we cover here. Answer this last question, Mo. Blackbird's era will probably be 3 to 4 seasons long. 3 to 4 years long. Just so you're aware. But yes, that'll be it for today. So, holy cow, what a live stream. Thank you guys so much. As a quick reminder, you can submit fan art below. There is a link in the description here that leads to a Google form. Go ahead, just upload your files there. If you want your name to be credited on screen, please put your name on the file. I don't have a way of putting text over your stuff, and I want to make sure that if you want to be credited, that you are credited, okay? Otherwise, I don't have a means to do that, unfortunately. So, that's just one note for me. Thank you guys so much for all of the donations. I really appreciate it. It really helps us stay afloat here and continue to make videos on the daily and live stream consistently and just be able to spend more time doing the things that we love. So I really appreciate that. And, oh boy, I got another last minute little donation from Captain. It reads out, Wild Child evolves into Blackbird like a Pokemon, which you'll be seeing very soon in the next couple of years of Persona Project, which is super great. Thank you, Captain. Salute to Captain. But yes, hopefully you enjoyed the art lesson. We'll do more of these in the future, of course. Hopefully we got a little bit of character design rattling around in your brain now. And until next time, it's been real, it's been fun. We'll see you next Sunday. My Peevlets on PetPyves Premium will be voting on what we're going to be doing next week, but once a month I'll have the general public on YouTube vote as well, so next time it'll be up to them, but then a couple weeks from now it'll be up to you guys, so we'll take turns. Alrighty, stay safe, have fun, enjoy life, draw lots, drink water, and, pet your cat and your dog. Tell someone that you appreciate them. Okay, that is all. Bye-bye.